says join. Oh,
There he is.
What up, guys?
What up?
That's a good word.
Oh, just chilling.
Chilling like a villain, if you will.
Living La Vida Loca.
I noticed that there wasn't an outline up in the Google Docs.
No, I don't have one because it's been a weekend, so I never really got around to it. And also, I was telling Justin before you called, like, it's one of those weeks where I'm like, I feel like shit doing a video game podcast while like the world is burning in a lot of ways, but but I feel like we can just kind of talk about that a little bit, and then we'll talk about just how they've delayed everything, pushed everything back because of it, and then I don't know, maybe we can just fucking shoot the shit about stuff.
I was
All right.
For the record, Shannon, the game that you were going to be playing this week was Hot Dog in a Hallway Simulator 2017.
Oh, they remastered the No Effects song.
Damn, it's a good one.
The She Works Hard at Eating Well simulator. You know?
The Deep Throat VR simulator.
With Wii Joy-Con accessories.
Oh, Jesus.
Damn.
I hope now that people are starting to go back to work, our numbers pick up again into triple digits.
I think, let me see. Let me take a look real quick. I'll tell you what last week's numbers were.
Thanks. And it's funny because like even the like bigger podcasts that I listen to, like a lot of them have been like, and boy, numbers are down. Whew, man. It's like, yeah, people sitting at home don't listen to podcasts.
No.
I mean, I know myself. It's like I listen to a majority of mine like on my commute, you know?
Let me see. What did we have? Last week was 40 downloads.
Yeah, exactly.
Oof.
That's about 200 less than normal per week. So,
well, actually, you know what? In the last 30 days, episode we've had. Let me see. 3, 6, 9, 12, 17, 23, 60, and then so 123. So I mean, like, last week was like last week, episode 94 had 40 downloads. And then 91 had 33 downloads, 93 had 30, 92 had 27, and then a couple people downloaded like some older episodes, like from like the 90s to the 60s. So like total like 35 people downloaded our episode last week, but we had essentially over 150 download last week, like different downloads, just not our most current episode.
Oh, okay.
So
it's going up.
Yeah. So collectively we're going up, like, but per episode we're still. I mean, we're pretty low right now.
While people are standing at the protest, they're listening to the podcast.
Yeah, we're at 100. Last week we're at 165 downloads, but only 35 were downloading our newest episode.
Which is kind of crazy, but that also tells me like people are going back to work and like catching up. You know, like people are like, oh, okay, I haven't listened to the last like month's worth of shit. Like, let me get all that. You know. But yeah, that's. I mean, you know, who cares? But like in reality, it's like such a bummer that the fucking coronavirus hits. We were like starting to get to like almost 300 a week.
Yeah, we were like 300-400 a week. Now we're back down to. Now we're like at 165. So we lost like 50% of our downloads.
You're like, and then Justin joined the podcast, and then our numbers tanked.
Yeah. Fucking Justin.
It's all those fucking
Tell me.
curse words you use, you fucking asshole.
It's because I'm too edgy.
Yeah.
It's because
Becoming
Shannon
too
started talking.
You
Shannon
make a
started
game
talking
where
about the
dicks
Masked
slap
Singer
people in the
again, and
faces.
everybody was
No, see, he talked Masked Singer and people came back on board. It's like,
Yeah.
Shannon talked Masked Singer, and I'm like, all right, guys, I'm gonna head out.
yeah. Like,
But really, it's because
oh,
my fucking phone, like my parents, I don't know why, but like I've been having issues with my parents' internet, and then so I was using mobile hotspot. It was just draining my phone battery. I didn't have my phone charger, and I was like, uh-oh. But then it was like, I was like down to like 2%, and I was like, oh, that's cool because we're wrapping it up. And then Shannon's like, hey, Mike, I'll have you on here, and I was like, God fucking damn it, dude. I was like, and my phone died, and then everything like disconnected, and I was like, well.
It's okay, you didn't miss much.
So Shannon ripping on me in the time. I didn't even want to listen to what I missed on the podcast. 'Cause I didn't want to give you that satisfaction, Shannon.
That's fine. It's fine. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It's not like I was ripping on you that bad.
And for the record, I am caught up on Ultimate Tag.
you are.
Yeah, and I'm not proud of it. I'm not going around like boasting about Ultimate Tag. The fact that you need 3 washed up fucking people to host a show about grown adults touching each other. I'm like,
you should
guarantee.
save this for the show. That's good. This is good stuff.
He's recording. I'm like, as far as I'm concerned, we started. Shannon didn't warn us that we're being recorded right now.
You're being recorded right now. I'm just letting you know.
Okay, so should we just jump into it and see where we go?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know how much you want to spend on the current world climate. We did also have like Diablo 4 gameplay, and Konami did sneak out another game for the Switch. So,
was that Skella something?
Yeah, I forget what it is, Skella Battle or Skella something, but Skelatack.
Skelly Bros.
But yeah, let's do what we got to do. I feel it's our responsibility to bring people up and let them forget about the shit that's going on. But we need to address it. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I figure. I mean, feel shitty like not addressing it. You know what I mean? So
the elephant in the room.
Yeah. So okay. All right, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
Hey everyone, welcome to That Pixel Life. This is Zach, and we're gonna do a little different open this time. This is episode 95. We're recording June 7th, 2020, and it's been a hell of a week. It's it's one of those times when the world that we recorded in a week or two ago is a little different now, and we all were talking, and it seems a little weird to just go on about video games and horrible movies that we all love for some reason, and not really talk very much about it. So I think we're going to use the open of the show to just kind of just lay it all out here. We've seen mass protests and rising up in the wake of the death of George Floyd, and the realities of police brutality and Black Lives Matter, and the fallout from that has been pretty much nothing short of horrific. We've seen waves of police brutality smash against the shores of social media as people are protesting police brutality. It's mind-boggling to me. I don't understand it. I saw a tweet that was like, mayors of the world going, can you guys just not crack skulls for 72 hours while you're all on camera, and the police in every city being like, nope, sure can't. It makes no sense to me how the world is the way it is. And it's there's a saying that sunshine is the best disinfectant. And I think that it's a good thing that all of this is getting born to light, that people are rolling their cameras and everyone is seeing the full extent of what's going on. The obvious lack of leadership from the top down is showing its cards in the huge spot and here, and it despite everything is leaving me a little hopeful that all of this spurs change that has been needed literally since the beginning of this country. I don't mean to be super heavy with this. I understand that it's an uncomfortable topic and it's not something that you come to this show to discuss. And it's not like me or Shannon or Justin are experts in any way about this. I'm just talking about what I'm seeing and experiences I've had and friends I have and everything like that. But I think it needs to be addressed. And I'll give Shannon and Justin some time, but that's just my 2 cents. And then I think we'll try to push forward with the show. We're a little disorganized this week. I'm be honest, as the person that kind of puts the show together, I didn't have it in me. It wasn't something I was really focused on this week. I was kind of glued to the news, glued to the media. Protests went right down the street by my house. There's a police station 2 blocks away from my house and Wednesday was kind of a dodgy day for me. It was one of those, like, is this all going to break loose? I had helicopters circling my neighborhood for 3 hours. And so yeah, I'm rambling. Shannon, Justin, come in and save me, please.
All right. Yeah, it's it's a very trying time for the country that we live in. The leadership that we usually look for in this type of government that we have is severely lacking right now. And not only is it lacking, but the stories that are coming out and the information that they're parlaying down to law enforcement isn't compassionate, isn't any type of what you would expect from a government that cares about its constituents. It's been hard for me to stay positive. It's also been a confusing time for me, in part because I don't want to be I don't want to step in the way or cheapen the movement that's happening. To that extent, I've humbled myself and been there to listen. I've been there to maybe just try to understand a little bit more and empathize with the movement to be a better person moving forward. I don't necessarily have the luxury because I am a single parent to go out and protest and support. What I can do, though, is be there to shelter people who may need a safe place to hang out for a little bit, an ear to listen to something that they may be going through that is hard or is something that they need to get off their chest. That's what I can do, and I urge everybody else to do the same thing. I know it's very hard when you're in a heated argument to check your feelings at the door or check your position, but I think that's kind of what we need to do right now. People are different. We do have our differences. It's time to sit down and realize that we are all, we are all equal. We are all, nobody's status should be representative of their race or religion or sexual preference. And I'm just here to say, if you want to talk, if you need somebody to listen, if you are going through something and you want to share it, I'm here. You can get a hold of me on Twitter or through our Facebook group, through Facebook, direct message me, do whatever you need to do. But I'm here to listen. I'm here to understand and here to help you out any way I can. Justin, do you have anything that you want to say?
Yeah, like I know this. I mean, especially I know for me, and I'm sure everybody else. It's like just between the virus. It's like this year's just been rough, and it's only been
Yeah.
getting rougher. And it's like one of those things where it's like right now with everything as rough as it is. I mean, it's as important as ever to just be nice to each other and stuff. And I know this week alone, I think I probably unfriended about 3 people on Facebook just because there's expressing your opinion and then there's just being blatantly racist on Facebook.
Yep.
And it's
Yep.
like people who it's like I don't even really know you, so I was like I don't want to see whatever the fuck it is you're promoting on Facebook anymore. And it's like and that shit's just not like call for like why like what do you gain from being a piece of shit on the internet? Like you gain nothing and you just make
Yep.
yourself look like an ass. And and I know what's been nice is even I know because of the virus and stuff like people on like YouTube and stuff like content as a whole pretty much has slowed down across pretty much all forms of media and stuff, but I've been seeing a lot of YouTubers doing like Twitch streams and stuff and like donating the money and stuff to certain causes for like Color of Change was one and stuff where like I know like someone like raised it was like set almost $80,000 and stuff for different organizations and stuff to help with like what's going on right now. And itch.io, one of the like they do a lot of indie game and like DRM whatever downloads for games. They have a bundle right now that's a bundle for racial justice and equality, and there's actually it's like 742 items in the bundle and the minimum buying price is $5, and not all of it is games. I think like 500 and like almost 600 of it is games, but some of it's like game assets and stuff for making games like sprites, music, just kind of like different stuff. And they've raised $2.1 million so far, and it says that their goal
Wow.
is 5 million, and there's still like 8 days left on it. And I know there's like a lot of it's older games like Night in the Woods and stuff, but it's like Night in the Woods is normally like $20, so it's like for $5 you're getting that and like 600 other things and stuff. So play a game and you can donate more than $5 and stuff. I know like a lot of my friends and stuff have like just like thrown like some money at it and stuff, and it's like even if you're not gonna play it, like it's like a Steam sale but it's going to a good cause. So that's always something to look into if you're interested.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I think that's the sheer amount in that was stunning. Just
Yeah, it's
you go down
insane.
that list, and it's I mean, sure, a lot of it's indie games I've never heard of, but at the same time, there are some actual games like you were saying that people were selling for full price in there, and the list just keeps going. It's just amazing,
Yeah,
amazing
I got through
program.
like the 200 of them, and then I was just like, okay, I'm never gonna get to the bottom of this list. Like, I'm gonna be here all
Yeah,
afternoon trying to look at it all.
but I, to kind of echo what Shannon was saying, and also Justin, you know, I I used to think like monitoring my social media, be it Twitter or Facebook or whatever, as far as just muting people or unfollowing people uh, for my own mental health was the right course of action. This was the week I decided though my feeds are no longer safe haven. If you're posting racist ass shit, I don't care if you're family members. I'm calling you out on it, and it's been going on all week for me. People are unfollowing me on a pretty good clip.
Good.
But yeah, but it's also one of those like I am a firm believer now that silence is complicity, and I choose not to be complicit. You can choose not to like me or not follow me or not hear what I have to say, but I no longer will let you get away with saying your shit. And I don't want it. I don't need it. For the most part, it is uneducated, unfounded bullshit that you are just spewing out into the world, and I'm sick of it. And as far as I'm concerned, a lot of these social media platforms are part of the problem, but we have seen amazing results when it comes to action as far as social media's outreach. And, let's be honest, without social media and Twitter and these things, half of this stuff gets swept under the rug. That 75-year-old man that got shoved to the ground and his head busted open while cops marched past him like fucking stormtroopers, like, those cops don't get arrested if no one's filming that and putting it immediately up on Twitter. If that's not a live feed, they're seizing phones and locking that down. Like, it's time to show what these people are doing in real time and let consequences happen because of it.
Dude, well, they even said that they said he fell, and then when the pictures and the video came out, and then all of a sudden the two cops all of a sudden got like suspended leave or whatever as soon as like that shit surfaced, and it's like, yeah, fuck you, like you like trying to totally brush that off.
Yeah, and it's something that came up over and over again this last week of like a few bad apples, and I'm sick and tired of everyone leaving out the second part of that. The whole saying is a few bad apples ruin the bunch. And you can have
Oh man.
Shannon's writing down that timestamp.
Mm-hmm. Bro needs a new computer.
It's that Snapchat camera filter on his computer. Oh, he said and crashed. It's just us. Now we can talk about anime.
Yep, anime today's. I'm just going through my photo library and getting rid of a whole bunch of pictures.
A bunch of what? Oh,
pictures.
Pickers. Okay, they said pickers, and I was like, "What the fuck is?" That? I guess some like Southern draw word for pictures. Get them pickers.
So what games have you been playing this week, bud?
Besides Animal Crossing, so I do have a new one. So I've been playing Animal Crossing. I've still been playing Bug Fables, but there's one new one that I bought that I'm pretty excited to talk about. It's called Kotodama: The Seven Mysteries of Fujisawa.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on sale on the Switch for like $1, and I used whatever my wallet credit was to get it. And the whole it's basically Phoenix Wright. It's like okay, so it's basically murder by numbers.
Okay.
But instead of Sudoku, it's like Bejeweled, or whatever, it's like some match 3, whatever.
Mhm.
But instead of like interrogating the person or whatever, like in Murder by Numbers, you're
Mhm.
basically like trying to get through their lies or whatever, and by doing that, you're like stripping them naked, and it's like and it's like anime schoolgirls. So it's like some like shitty honey pop, like not quite like hentai game, but like as close as you can get with being on the Switch. Like,
Uh-huh.
very suggestive. Right, so it's right up your alley.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah. But yeah,
So with Bug Fables, you only get the 3, the beetle, the bee, and the moth. Like they're the only characters you get through the whole game.
as far as I know, yes, that they're the only 3. Because I'm on the second chapter. I just like unlocked the like second area or whatever where I need to go because I had to do this festival thing, and then like, dude, so that was pretty funny too. Was because on Saturday, Saturday's the day where KK Slider comes to your island,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a phone alarm set on my phone and everything for 6 o'clock, where I'm like, oh shit, I can get my KK Slider song, and I completely forgot about it, and so we're at home, and it's like 11:47 or something, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, my KK Slider song. I'm like, I need to get that real quick before midnight, and I turn on the Switch, and I'm like in the middle of a boss fight in Bug Fables, and I'm like, fuck, and I'm like, I can't just exit, and I can't just save in the middle of the fight, so I'm like hurrying, trying to get through the boss fight, and like I like was like shit, and as soon as I beat it, I was like, fuck, I'm like, all right, save, and I'm like exit, I'm like boot up Animal Crossing, I'm like, come on, and I talked to KK Slider at like 11:56, and I got the song, and then he like after he played, he like immediately left, and I was like, whew, I was like, that was a close one. Like almost didn't get that song. I was cutting it to the wire.
That's pretty cool. I went back in hard this week on turnips.
You're like,
Hey guys.
hey,
back.
Yeah, this fucking laptop, dude. It's the worst.
Yeah.
I'm actually probably going to hook up an old Mac Mini to do the show next week until I can get a replacement laptop, because I just think this thing's fucking... I'm waiting for the hard crash and a cloud of smoke to come out.
Letting the smoke out?
Yeah.
I was like, Zach's gonna be trading a couple of those Badlands for a new laptop.
Right? Probably. It's fucking ridiculous.
So I would probably just say start over with the saying goes, and then
Okay.
you can go into your bad apple speech.
Okay. 1 second. Let me get my... And then, yeah, when when it finally rebooted, it was like, welcome to Windows. And I'm like, what the oh, Jesus. Like,
It was like Windows XP, and you're like, oh my god.
yeah, right? I was like, what the hell just happened? Okay. Okay. Yeah, the saying I've seen over and over again this week, and it's driving me kind of crazy, is a few bad apples. You know, it's a few bad apples. It's just a few bad apples. Well, the whole saying is a few bad apples ruin the bunch, and it's not just a few bad apples when those apples have now dissolved the entirety of the public's trust and faith in their police system. You know, yeah, two guys push that 75-year-old man down in Buffalo, and countless others walked right past them without any trying to assist, serve, or protect. And that's the reality. Those two bad apples ruined that bunch. And it's, we're gonna we're gonna attempt to do the impossible here, which is just kind of move on with the show, I guess, because we can just keep hammering this, but I don't know. None of us are experts. None of us have gone through what many others have gone through. relate with experiences and whatnot. So I think we're going to try just to push forward with our usual type of show and shenanigans. And if you are out in these streets, if you are doing the good work, just for me and the rest of us, I want to say thank you, because it is needed and it is warranted. And I'm hoping that we get change sooner than later. Anyone else got something to add before we move on?
No, I think I just mirror what you guys got to say. Like, we love you guys. Be safe. And we're here to support you in any way that we can. So, if it's just by, giving you that safe place or giving you a couple minutes to relax, awesome. But let us know what we can do to help you guys out. That's all I got to say. Justin, anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna second that. Be safe, and if you are going out to the protests and everything like that, I would say make sure go with a friend or a group. I've seen a lot of stories about people, like with curfew and stuff going on now, and then like they're trying to get home and they get separated from their group, and like cops like blocking them, like and like doing shit, like saying like closing streets down, but then it's like curfew and whatever. So be safe and be with a friend or a group of people and stuff, because everything's better in numbers. You can watch each other's back. So
yeah, that's very good advice. And try steering this battleship back towards the land of video games. The fallout from this has been some things relating with the video game space. Again, it's just hard to make this important because it's not. But roll with this, guys. The PS5 stuff got delayed, and we're not sure when it's got delayed to. They just said, "Hey, this Tuesday really isn't the right time to talk about this." And I agreed with them. I was like, "Yeah, Sony, it's absolutely not. Now is not the time to hype up a console that you were going to charge hundreds of dollars for." Did anyone else have a problem with them delaying it? Because I thought that was absolutely like a no-brainer call on their part.
Yeah, I just kind of looked at it and I was like, yeah, good, fucking Sony finally got one right.
Right.
Way to go. I don't understand, but at the same time, I was like, I'm not going to give them accolades for doing something that is what they need to do. That's right for the current situation. But so, I mean, yeah, like whatever. I didn't care. I was like, okay, fine, move on. Like, just get out of here. Like. It just, yeah, like you were saying, it kind of puts things into perspectives. The current climate. So I wasn't surprised. I didn't really spend more than 2 seconds thinking about it. But now that we're in the throes of a gaming podcast, yeah, I mean, it was just good job, Sony. You finally got one right. Justin, what do you think?
I mean, it was the right call for Sony. I was like, because I was like, man, they're finally like, all right, guys, we're totally ready to give you some information. And then, of course, the world continues to fall apart. And then it's like, well, we're just going to sit on this again until we'll put a pin in this until later. And I was like, dude, their marketing person must just be like having a fucking existential crisis right now, trying to like, all right, guys, yeah, we kind of got fucked up with the COVID shit, but we're gonna bounce back hard, this month with. And then now they're like, dude, I'm gonna lose my fucking job. Like, I don't know what to do anymore.
Yeah, they just spent the last 2 months rejiggering their entire marketing plan for the PS5. Yeah. And they're like, oh, we're finally a chance to get back on track here. And it's like, well, the thing about that,
yeah, like that whole Last of Us 2 thing with the whole COVID thing. Yeah, like I can finally put together a pretty good press conference full of games, and nobody's going to remember that. It's just all going to be a bad dream. And then, yeah, this gets put on hold. So now this is just, you still got that thing just lingering in the background, just kind of, that's your last, Your last PR news blast.
Yeah, it was like,
Well, and,
that there was like I was like, there was like a Zoom meeting that night of like 8 people at 11:30, like drinking Don Julio, like, yo, like, what are we gonna do?
like we're all probably gonna get fired, but who cares? Yeah, no, it's also one of those things. Like I kind of think good on him because, let's face it, with that, except for the driving games of the world, a lot of video games are just like hyper violent murder simulators. So maybe now's not the right time to just show a lot of super violent, bloody trailers. Like they had that Last of Us 2 gameplay reel go out, and damn, that game is bleak and violent, and it's like, oof, is that? And that comes out like next week.
Mm-hmm.
It just, and I mean, Lord knows they can't push it back again. Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe they can, but I doubt they will. Reviews are starting to get done on it and stuff. But it's one of those, like, man, I kind of feel like to Justin's point, I kind of feel bad for their media teams, their content teams, because the world is not doing them favors. Someone needs to find whoever's got that voodoo doll and like start pulling pins out, because they've gotten a lot of pins pushed in them. It's been rough.
Yeah, whoever's playing Jumanji needs to knock that shit off.
Yeah, close that board, man. Like, yeah. Well, and EA delayed their state of play, I guess, or not state of play, whatever they call their conference. They delayed theirs another week, because they're not E3. E3 conference was supposed to be this week, so they pushed that back, I guess. And then there was something else with EA. Oh, the other thing with EA, because did you guys see when Microsoft originally said they're like, oh, if it comes out on Xbox One, you get the asset upgrade for Series X with like no additional charge, and EA was like, yeah, except for Madden, you got to pay for Madden. F you guys, I ain't giving you nothing. And apparently there was a pretty bad blowback on that, because EA came out this week and was like, we just meant until Madden 22 comes out. You totally can get that upgrade for Madden 21. And it was like, sure.
Mm-hmm. You don't say. I mean, dude, like maybe it's just the bad year that they've had, or the bad 2 years that EA has had, but I just don't care about their latest iteration of FIFA and Madden and NHL. Like, just, it's the same shit every year. Like, we get it. It's an updated roster. You change maybe one or two, like, little features about it, but for the most part, it's the same game you've been putting out for, like, 30 years now. And as far as your Star Wars games, like, I don't care what games EA has that they're bringing out for Star Wars right now, because they're going to ruin them all. I mean, they're just going to do some type of stupid microtransaction or loot box bullshit that's going to piss everybody off. It's just, I don't think they've learned any of their lessons yet.
Fallen Order is good. I will say that. Fallen Order is good.
I'll give them Fallen Order. But, like, as far as, what was the other one? Battlefront and...
Yeah.
Like, wasn't there another one that they done messed up on? Other than like Anthem, because Anthem was them too, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah. Anthem is the end all be all for them, but yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, it's just, I don't give a shit what EA's got going on right now. So wait a week, do it now. Wait a month. I don't care. I'm not watching your shit. But that's just.
Damn. Shannon just coming out guns blazing over here. Just woof.
Well, let him have it. It's that time right now.
Burn it to the ground. The salt in the earth where he stands.
It's like state of play, more like state of nay. Am I
right? Bringing the dad jokes. The one dad, not dad, on the podcast. Bringing the dad jokes. So I don't know if I know Shannon saw it because he put it on the Facebook group. But Justin, did you have a chance to see the Diablo 4 gameplay they released this week?
I did. I saw that Shannon posted it, but I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Ooh, man, it made me want that game.
Is it because I posted it? If somebody else had posted it, would you have watched it?
Probably. It could have probably been anybody else. It could have been one of the racist people I unfriended, and I probably still would have watched.
Yeah.
Your hatred
Oh,
for Shannon
man.
runs that deep.
I miss Robbie.
Right? At least
Dude,
Rob
yeah.
pretended to.
But you
I
want to
mean,
talk?
did
You want
like
to
you,
talk
Shannon.
about? How do you know? It's at this point we've been friends for so long. I mean, I don't even think it matters if we like each other or not. We're just there because we've been friends for so long.
We're in it now. Like there's no going back at this point. You know, we're just in it.
Yeah.
Once you cross like 2 decades, it's just over at that point. You know.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you guys are just friends. I mean, like you just got to put up with each other's shit. You've seen it so much.
Right.
But anyway, that game is. Oh, I want that game so bad. You know, I know Blizzard's been like a shitty company in the past, and they've had some things that like need to be still reckoned. But the people that are working on this game are doing an amazing job, and their work should be rewarded. Um, I don't know what it is about that barbarian, but like his two-handed attack, like the thump thump, like the rhythmic thump
Yeah.
thump he's attacking is just rewarding to hear. His
Yeah,
ability,
it feels like it has weight to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those like they got the sound and visual impact of the swing perfect. It was just like, oof, yeah, give me that.
Yeah, and those powers that he had, I mean, like everything just seems so much more detailed than any of the previous iterations of this game have ever like tried to be. I like they're trying to do the seamless load times where it's kind of like a cutscene in between, like walking from a dungeon to outside or walking from point A to point B. I did feel that the load times were a little long walking from the open world to the dungeons. Like when they were going into the dungeon, I felt like that seemed to take a little bit of a time. But maybe that's just me being nitpicky because all we've heard about these new consoles is the load times and how impressive they're going to be and how quick you're going to be able to get from one section of the game to the next. And those meat towers, like the flesh towers, whatever you want to call them, those things were freaking gnarly. But like, I mean, I did like the like that kind of like everybody's rushing you at that moment, the chaotic like battle to also kill the people that are summoning the demon, but at the same time, like you have to kill the fodder to get rid of the summoning people. Like all of that was really cool, and it made me want to see how the other classes would either benefit from being in that situation with a multiplayer aspect, or also how you would tackle that situation being not a melee like tank class. Because I mean, it was so busy in some of those spots that you didn't even see your guy. I mean, like you saw like the special attack go off, and then
you saw like the shockwave come out of the middle of it. And you're like, oh, okay, that's where he is.
yeah. Other than that, I was just like, whoa, like this is kind of crazy. I did like the fact that they added more depth to the levels by allowing you to climb.
Yeah.
So it like all these things are just. I mean, the only one thing that I could say that I didn't like or that I thought was weird was the load times. Everything else is a positive. What did you think, Zach? Like, I mean, did you walk away happy with the 20 minutes of gameplay?
I definitely came away happy with the gameplay. If anything, I think I was a little underwhelmed with it graphically. Like you said, there was a lot of detail in there, but it 100% was still just Diablo. You know what I mean? And I don't know what I was expecting. It's just you hear all this like next gen, new gen, GPU power and all this stuff, and then it's like, yeah, that's a pretty Diablo. That being said, I went and played Diablo 3 that day after I fired that up, just because I was thinking about it all day and really wanted to play more Diablo. So it did its job. I'm in. I mean, I'm a sucker for Diablo, so anytime those things fire up, like you said, if anything, my critiques feel almost nitpicky in that way,
Mhm.
because it looked cool as hell, and I really wanted to play it. And I have a feeling it's also one of those things where, like you said, the detail in like the shockwave attack, and you literally see it like ripple across the ground, and like things fly up off the ground and stuff as it's going. And then you think back to, was it Diablo 2 with the barbarian's whirlwind attack?
Mhm.
And it's like, I remember when that first popped off thinking like, oh, that looks cool as hell. You go watch it now, and that is the hokiest, dumbest looking thing you've ever seen in your life. And you're sitting there doing it for literally the entire game, just and it's so dumb. But when you compare and contrast against prior iterations, it's like, okay, yes, this does look way, way better. It's just that it didn't take that huge fidelity leap that I mentally was expecting. That being said, in 2021, when this game comes out, maybe they've added a lot to it. I don't know. This is from the beta. This is a one mission outside of the beta, and I'm hyped. I like the little change to the town portal. I thought that was really cool. I want, let me get at that, because as much as I've been enjoying Minecraft Dungeons, it's straight up Diablo for kids, and I'm ready to play a Diablo that's not for kids again.
Yeah,
because it stoked that fire to where I'm like, oh yeah, I really like these games, but I want to play one that's actually good. And not to say Minecraft Dungeons isn't good. That's not what I'm saying, but it's made for an audience that is coming to these games for the first time and isn't aware of that an entire Diablo universe exists. And I wish my son was old enough to play Diablo 3 with me. That's really the long and short of it. But yeah, I'm hyped for it. I'm in. Justin, are you a Diablo guy?
I am, and that's why, like, hearing you guys talk about, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna need to go watch Diablo, because like I played through Diablo 3 a couple times, and then I ended up fucking buying it again on the PS4 when Reaper of Souls came out, because I was like, might as well. I'm like, instead of just buying the DLC or whatever, I was like, just buy it again on the PS4 with the DLC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually what I haven't had my PS4 hooked up for a while, just because Animal Crossing took over my main TV, and then Viva Pinata has been the other game, so I just have had my PS4 sitting by the wayside, but I hooked it back up to play Diablo 3. So I'm available, Justin, is what I'm saying. If you want to play some Diablo 3, we can do this.
You're like, Justin, you're old enough to play Diablo 3 with me.
Yeah, totally. Wait, Justin, you can do this.
I will say another one of the critiques I had is I was really upset to see the Goatman back. I was kind of hoping for like,
what?
I don't know. I was kind of hoping for like more variety. Like I kind of wanted to see, instead of having like the grunts and then having, the spellcasters and then having the one huge dude get summoned out of the meat stacks.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see like a different demon come out of there. But that, like you said, that is just maybe one of the earlier levels. I doubt that they're gonna, show like everything new like right out the gate. But I would like to see some new fodder type animal type beasts other than Goatmen.
Well, my theory, and I did have that thought too, that they're not showing us anything new. But my thought is they probably want to save that. So they're just going with some tried and true stuff.
Yeah,
until
I mean,
they're closer to launch.
Yeah, the game's not coming out until November, so I mean, you gotta kind of keep interest going for another 6 months, like 5 to 6 months before people are buying this.
We hope it's coming out in November. But
I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, like if it's already that polished of a game, like, and they have 20 minutes.
I don't see why it wouldn't. Casually points to the world on fire outside my window.
Sheesh.
No.
My blinds are closed. My blinds are closed.
Right. But you're right. Like it's like if they're this far along. But I'm hoping they make some more passes and clean some stuff up, add some spit and polish. I hope so. I want it. I want that game bad. So,
yeah. Yeah. Next topic.
Well, sorry. Speaking of new games, hey, you guys remember Konami? You remember that company, Konami? They used to make games.
Aren't they
Pachinko
dead?
machines?
Aren't they dead?
Yeah. They, the company that runs gyms and makes pachinko machines, that Konami. Apparently, they still make games now that Castlevania, Silent Hill, Metal Gear Solid have all fallen by the wayside. Konami is back, and out of freaking nowhere, announced a platformer called Skelatack, and it's a 2D side-scrolling platformer. Looks like there's a little Castlevania Metroid-ish in that by the trailer. It looks like it's $20. I have not picked it up, but it looks good. Like, it looks like a fun little game. I'm kind of waiting to see some reviews on it before I jump in, but I don't know. Konami 2D side scroller with a map to explore. Is it bad that I'm interested in this? Like, no. I kind of feel it a little bit.
Yeah, I was super interested in it too. And then I watched initially I started looking at the screenshots and I was on board. And then I saw the demo and I was like, I'm going to probably get conservatively 50% through this game, and then it's going to get too difficult for me to remember the controls, and I'm never going to go back to this game ever again. So I mean, I'm glad that there's still there's still hope there for maybe a different type of IP for them to possibly come out with for the Switch or some other video game console. But yeah, I think I will watch people play this game, but I wouldn't buy it until it was maybe like on sale for like $5. Justin, what do you think?
Yeah,
I agree. Like, I saw the trailer, and because I was interested too, and I was like, ooh. And then like I saw the trailer, I was like, all right, like, like I can get behind like the art style and stuff like that. And then like watching it, I was like, it's one of those where it doesn't look to me like inherently like great. Like, it looks like it's it's good enough. Like, I'm like, it looks like a decent, like, like 2D kind of Metroidvania-ish kind of platformer. Like, but I was like, I guarantee you it's probably gonna be like 6.5, like 7s, like across the board, pretty much. I think for like reviews where I'm like, which it's decent. It's not great, it's not bad, it's like a decent little game. So,
but see, I know me, and I know the first time that thing goes on sale, I'm gonna buy it. Like, I'm that kind of sucker. It's one of those, I can stop myself when it's $20, but the first time that hits 15, I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, you got me.
Yeah,
I just know
Metacritic.
It's happening.
Metacritic has it at a 6.3 right now.
See, look, I pretty much hit it on the head there.
Yeah.
Lead reviewer Justin Time Carter says, but yeah, I just thought it was interesting that, like, kind of out of nowhere, Konami coming with some heat. Like, Konami of all people. Like, I figured they had given up video games entirely. So start up your Silent Hill rumors. Let's get Silent Hills going again. Let's do it. Bring back PT. That this game is way far away from any type of Silent Hill. But I can dream. I can dream.
Well, I mean, everybody was like, Konami, do something. They're like, here's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Konami, make a game. And they're like, fine. Do it.
They're like, if 12 people buy this, we'll reboot Silent Hill.
Well, they've already had... they've already had 14 people because there's 14 reviews. But it does look like the growing complaint with the game is it's hard as balls.
Oh, really?
They're saying like right now it's the one review I read that gave it like a 66 was that the colorful aesthetic and the witty dialogue is not enough to carry the game, that it suffers from difficulty peaks that are just insanely challenging. and it plateaus people pretty quick. So yeah, maybe I'll wait until it's $5, and then I won't feel as bad when I delete it and never play it again.
When you Hollow Knight it,
I'll
give
put
up after 2 hours.
Yeah. Shannon, I'll put 2 minutes in it and then immediately drop $30 on a new JRPG.
Right.
Damn.
Hey! It's gonna be a pack of swords for Xenoblades. Okay, DLC. That's what he's gonna spend his money on.
I feel so seen right now.
Hey, Shannon. Speaking of which, I have a question for you. Did you know that Eli Roth is making a Borderlands movie?
I did not.
So Eli Roth is making a Borderlands movie via Lionsgate, and Cate Blanchett has signed on to play Lilith. That's a good reaction. Because that's a sentence that that is a 2020 ass sentence. Hey, Eli Roth of Hostel fame is making fucking Borderlands movie. And then Cate Blanchett, what? Did she really enjoy camping it up in Thor to get on? I want to play Lilith in Borderlands. That is so confusing to me.
Yeah. I could see the direction they're going for with Borderlands, trying to be more edgy and more of the psychological thriller portion of it. But yeah, I try to think if there's a director I would go with that I would much rather see do the Borderlands series.
Outside of UA Bowl, of course.
I would not want him to do it at all. No, do not touch this. I'm actually. Go for it.
I kind of love UA. I kind of love UA Bowl movies just because they're so goddamn bad. They're so bad. They're amazing. They're amazing. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
I'm stumped. I'll let Justin run with this one for a little bit while I think of a director and an actress I would want to see in a Borderlands movie. Justin.
Well, see, if Seth Rogen directed it, then you could have James Franco as Handsome Jack and Sarah Silverman
Franco
is the
Jack.
Siren.
Holy shit, dude! Franco is Jack. You just nailed it. That is perfect. That is the most perfect casting I've ever seen. Yes, let's do that. Oh my god!
I mean, he was great in oh god, what was that? Where they did? It wasn't The Room, but it was called. I don't remember what the fuck they called it. But it was
Disaster Artist.
Yeah, Disaster Artist. There we go. Yes. Yeah. He played a great Tommy Wiseau.
Wise who?
Oh, what? Wiseau, Quizno, Tommy Quizno.
Wiseau? Tommy Wiseau?
Yes, Shannon. Goddamn.
There's no N in his name. I'm just saying, it's.
Yes, I'm bad with names, Shannon. Thank you for pointing that out on the podcast for everyone to see.
Oh man, I'll just you should have just left it with your great idea and then not mispronounce anybody's name because that's all I'm hearing.
That's the thing. I don't know when to stop, Shannon.
It's been how many shows now? Come on.
Not nearly enough,
doesn't
dude.
know when to stop.
Oh, dude, not nearly enough. I mean, I know. I don't know enough about him yet. I just feel. I don't know. There's a discord between us, and I don't know how to fix it.
I think it's between. Yeah, the space. Can we circle back? Did you guys ever watch House of the Dead? The UA Bowl, the original UA Bowl movie, video game movie.
Mm-mm.
Oh, you should do yourself a favor and watch it. Watch it expecting the worst movie you've ever seen, and it's gonna deliver. It's so good. It's so good in that regard. Oh.
So I don't understand. Is this one of those bad movies you watch because it's so bad it's laughably good, or because Like,
because it's laughably bad. Like, you watch it because it's one of those, the entire time you're going, how did this get made? How did this actually get released into theaters? Like, this was a movie that got released in theaters. Like, how? How did it get there? There's just so many choices in that movie that are so bad. The script is so awful. The directing, like the choices of shots in this movie. Like, me and you know nothing about making movies. I'm confident we could make a movie at least this good.
Okay. So, I mean, does this rival like him shooting 2 movies at the same time and using the same sets but having different like themes and like ideas running through it? Like when he did In the Name of the King, and I forget what other movie he did. Blood Rain, was it?
Blood Rain.
Yeah.
Blood. And you want to know the fun part is, I don't think House of the Dead is his worst movie. Alone in the Dark is so much worse than House of the Dead, because at least House of the Dead is like campy. Mm-hmm. It is that it's so bad it's funny type thing, where Alone in the Dark is just real bad. Like, it's just real bad, and I don't know how you can enjoy that movie sober, even for the like it's so bad it's goodness, like it's just bad. And so yeah, I would put Alone in the Dark up there. But I went through a phase with a girlfriend I had at the time where we couldn't believe these movies existed, so we watched all of them, like one after another, and it was good times. It was entertaining. I saw Alone in the Dark in the theater. Oof. Like, I paid to go see that movie in a theater, and it was one of those things. Later that day, it was a daytime showing. Mm-hmm. Later that day, we were at dinner, and the 3 people I was with that saw that movie with me, no one could tell you anything about the movie. Like, other than that was really bad. But do you remember when this happened? No, not really. Like, no character names, nothing. Like, that movie was as forgettable as it was, and I saw it in real time. It was amazing. Like, just to see everyone walk out and be like, I have no idea what the fuck we just saw, but it was bad. Yeah. Uwe Boll, man. He's amazing. Now that I've completely derailed us.
But no, it's okay. I was looking at the box office. It did make $12.7 million.
They got my $8 or whatever, but I was $8 of that 12.7. So yeah, I mean, something that made my wife incredibly happy. Did you see that National Treasure 3 and 4 got greenlit? They're making 2 more National Treasure movies, Shannon.
Wow. Okay.
I know you love Nick Cage and celebrate his entire catalog, but are you prepared for more National Treasure?
Well, I would like to have a movie that I can watch with my son that, I don't really have to explain to him too much about what's going on. That he could just kind of follow with pretty pictures and explosions. Jerry Bruckheimer doing it?
I don't know. That I don't know. So
yeah,
I don't think they're very far along in the process, other than hey, we're making it. So
hey, guys, Nick Cage needs more money to pay off his tax debt.
He sold off his comic book collection, so it's
So he's like $100 less in debt. But yeah, it's dude, that's rough. I don't know. I would rather see I don't know, what Nick Cage movie would I like to have him see redo, like with Nick Cage in it?
2 words: Face Off.
I know, but
yes.
Who would they do it with? I mean, like, I can only watch Face Waterfall so many times. I mean, you can't catch lightning in a bottle twice, right?
No, but you can eat a peach for hours. So anyway,
damn.
Face Off. I love that movie. It's so dumb. Like, God, it's so stupid. And goddamn, does Nick Cage go for it in that movie? Like, he just goes for it
everywhere. Like, he is just, dude. They need to make another Con Air. That's what they need to do. I want to see another. Can we do that, please? Like,
I'm down. I'd watch another Con Air. What about the further adventures of whatever Godspeed from The Rock? Like, go for a rock sequel.
That would be pretty cool. I mean, like that's right up the alley because I mean, like what they were basically trying to stop a biological agent in the first one. All they have to do is just make it about COVID-19 now, and like,
right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Let's do that one. Let Nick Cage a different prison.
Remember that weird time when they were trying to make Nick Cage an action hero?
Yeah, and he did like the whole like dress up for like Superman and everything. And
yeah, man, that was weird. It's like, yeah, and you got Con Air and The Rock and like all these movies. And it's like, man.
Yeah, and then he did like Gone in 60 Seconds, and then right after
I will not take Gone in 60 Seconds slander on these airwaves,
No,
Shannon.
I'm not. I'm just saying he was
Okay.
like that is still a go-to for me when that 1960s, what was it, 1967 Shelby GT Mustang? Is that what it is?
Yep. California Special. Yep.
Yeah, when that thing fires up, like, and I got it in the 5-to-1 surround sound. Yeah, that is still like the best part of that movie.
I unabashedly love that movie. Like I will own that. I know it sucks. I know it's dumb. Why the hell is Angelina Jolie even in it? Who knows? I don't care. I fucking love that movie. It's great.
Yeah,
I like him in Season of the Witch.
You disappoint me.
I don't know if I saw that one.
You disappoint me.
Why? It was pretty good. Like, it's like him, and then it has what's his face? The dude who plays Klaus from Umbrella Academy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's in it, and he's like his like apprentice kind of thing. It's like, man, it's like a group of dudes transporting a witch from like one place to another or whatever for her to like go on trial and stuff. And shit, of course, doesn't go as planned.
I'm gonna have to check this out. This sounds like a movie I would enjoy, actually.
Yeah. See, Shannon's hating on it.
I didn't like it. I also hated Wicker Man and
the bees.
Yeah, the bees. I'm trying to think.
I didn't steal your fucking honey.
Oh man, fuck. Lily Sobieski, man. I remember she was like hot for like 3 movies and then she was like gone. But yeah,
yeah.
God.
I think what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence, the Hunger Games person.
Mm-hmm.
I think she hit the scene, and everyone that was all the parts that went to Lily Sobieski went to her instead. Like, I think it was one of those like, oh wait, well let's just go to this person. I don't know. Uh-huh. It just seemed to be that way. Like because all of those roles could be played by either one of them. You know?
Yeah. 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 Well, yeah. to go back around, no, I'm not hyped for a National Treasure 3 and 4. What are they going to steal? What are they going to steal?
Who knows? Can I find out what's on page 47? Like,
are they gonna not make it now? It's gonna be international treasure now, and they're just gonna steal something from like, I don't know, like the Queen has like something that they need now, and they're just gonna steal shit from over there.
They're like, the blueprint to Area 51 is under Donald Trump's wig.
I'm in. Let's do it. I'm in. God, that would be fucking great. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting to see because there's like all these movies that were supposed to hit this year that all got pushed back. So I'm really curious to see what the next year in cinema looks like. If a lot of these things are going to come direct to video or if they're going to come in theaters, but just like is next summer just going to be fucking wild? Like every week's just a banger, you know? Like
this Friday, 25 movies simultaneously come out.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like I really wanted to see that Ryan Reynolds movie, the video, the one where he's in the video game. What is he, like the
free guy?
Oh, yeah,
free guy.
Yeah,
I wanted to see that so bad, and it was supposed to come out it was supposed to come out in May, and I guess who knows what happens to it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how well like Trolls did, and you know, a couple of the other movies that they sent out like straight to VOD to see like, what the numbers were. I think they did pretty well. Like, I mean, to me, like, I don't understand, because it's not the movie theaters that are making the money from the movies being out there. Like, the companies that are making the movies are the ones that are making the majority of the money at the movie theater. I just don't understand why they don't just send it out home. I mean, yeah, you're not going to get like the per person ticket. Like, instead of like at each household, you're not going to make like $50. You're going to make $20. But I think the net that you're casting is wider, and people are going to watch it multiple times. I mean, like, especially if they have kids. Like, you put that Trolls movie out there, I think I must have spent $20 like twice. So I mean, they did get $40 out of me to watch that movie. So, it'd be interesting to see if they just can them for another year, or if they, do a slow rollout and see what people do as far as purchasing them at home.
I bet you it's going to be how long it takes things to kind of roll out. Like, if we're 6 more months of people not really being able to fill movie theaters, I bet you they're just like, screw it, let's just start selling them because to Justin's point, what are you going to do? It's like, just hold it all for a year from now and be like, everything drops all at once, go get it. I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's going to be like, well, no, I still want Black Widow to have a big gate. I still want Jurassic World Dominion to have a big gate. I still want all these things. And if you have just, massive movie after massive movie after massive movie every single week dropping, I just don't see that possible,
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I don't know. Just something to think about, I guess. Are we are we keeping the Animal Crossing minute going, you guys? Like, I feel like everyone's stalling out on Animal Crossing. What are your guys' thoughts?
I'll tell you right now. I woke up this morning. I looked at my turnip prices. My turnip prices on my island were at 90 bells, and I
Nice.
went and spent $4 million on turnip exchange. And I'm just hoping that like this will be the last time I ever have to do any type of turnip based economic thing. But I'm making that strong push to finish the game now. I think I have one more house I have to put up before I get like my 10 villagers, and I think then KK, I think at that point is ready to come to my island. And then it's just all terraforming and whatever other type of extraneous thing I want to do at the end of that. I'm still pretty much going. Like, I would probably say I spend maybe like a half hour a day, like in Animal Crossing, just so I can get my fossils. And with the addition of the sharks, I usually try to walk around the beach and see if I got like one or two fins, like just kind of hanging out. And I've been able to catch like right out the gate, like the first line I threw in, I caught a whale shark.
Nice.
Then I caught a great white shark and a hammerhead and a suckerfish. So I got like those, like, the bigger sharks out of the way, which I'm super stoked about. So I mean, there is enough to keep me going back and just kind of seeing what's there. But yeah, I'm at a half hour a day, I would say. Justin, are you still there doing anything?
Yeah, I mean, I play some. I pretty much log in at least every day to every other day to collect fossils and check out the clothing shop, see if Nook's Cranny has anything cool to purchase. I haven't bought turnips, and I can't tell you how long and stuff, since I just have 25 mil chilling in the bank. So it's like, I'm like, I'm not even spending that. I'm like, if I need money, I just go pick some fruit and get like 40K right then and there. So it's like, money is frivolous to me at this point. But it was pretty funny. I was telling Shannon earlier and stuff that on Saturday, because it's like I have a timer and stuff on my phone for 6 p.m. on Saturday to remind me for the KK Slider song, because that's when you can obtain it, is at 6 p.m. And on Saturday, it went off, and I forgot about it, and I was like laying in bed, and it's like 11:45, and I was like, oh shit, I never got my KK Slider song. So I popped the Switch on, and I was in the middle of the Bug Fables, and I was in the middle of a boss fight, and I was like, fuck, like I can't just stop the game and put on Animal Crossing. I can't just save either. So I'm like sitting there trying to rush through the boss fight, and I'm like, come on, come on, come on. And I beat it, and I'm like, cool, whatever. And I saved it real quick, and then like got out, and I'm like loading up Animal Crossing. And I'm like, come on. And I like ran over to KK, and it's like 11:56, and talked to him, and he played me the song. And then after he was done playing, he like immediately left, and I was like, whew. I'm like, got it.
Or I thought you were gonna go with like, so I booted it up, and then Isabel started breaking down the island for me, and you're like, no.
Right. Yeah, luckily I'd logged in earlier that day, so I already went through that cycle. And she's like, no new news to report. I'm like, Isabel, shut up, shut up, shut up. She's like, have you checked out Herb's Island? I'm like, no. I'm like, come on.
No, I haven't.
I haven't done any of the wedding stuff at all.
Yeah, I did the wedding thing one day and went like, oh, this is super lame. Okay, I think I'm good with this. They haven't broken their streak of Animal Crossing events being kind of bootsy, so well, we'll see if they get better. But yeah, I'm starting to trend away from it. There's other things grabbing me. I don't know, like it's fun to catch sharks still. It's fun to do some fishing. I log in and like do my money tree and all that because the rest of my house will yell at me if I don't do it. Some days I just tell my wife to do it for me. I'm just logged in as me. She's logged in as me half the time anyway, just to like move houses and stuff around. So it's like, hey, while you're there, grab that money tree because I don't really care. But yeah, so I think I'm actually about done with Animal Crossing in reality until something major shakes loose. Hey man, hell of a run. That was like 3 months that grabbed me harder than any game has in a long time. So that's a hell of a run in my book. And also, did you see that it was the #1 selling game since its release on the Switch platform until this week? Do you know what game supplanted it? Anyone?
Paper Mario?
No. Minecraft Dungeons.
Oh shit!
Took over the #1 spot from Animal Crossing, which I found kind of amazing. But also, who knows how many copies that really means? Like who the hell's buying Animal Crossing right now? Like that seemed to be a total zeitgeist thing a couple months ago, and then I can't imagine the person that's like, oh, finally, I'm going to get some Animal Crossing in.
Now that my Twitter feed's not flooded with it, now I can get into it.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some people out there that are like, yeah, finally got my Switch. I've been waiting, 4 weeks. It was back ordered or whatever. I can finally play this game. But
yeah, I'm surprised, like kind of in the same vein that there is still that much support for Minecraft. Like I am just baffled by that. I mean, the only reason I play Minecraft Dungeons is because everything is already preformed. I mean, it's basically just like it's Diablo Light, like everybody says.
Yeah.
The Minecraft game itself, I have never touched. It doesn't look appealing to me. Like I don't understand. Like maybe it's just because I'm not like a super creative, artistic type of person. Like building that type of stuff, like building something from the ground up in a video game doesn't appeal to me. Like I want it to be there, and I usually want to destroy it.
But see, that is. I will tell you, just because I've played it, I was kind of with you. I don't have a lot of interest in Minecraft at all as a game, but with my son really wanting to play it because all his friends were talking about it, so we spent some time with it. What you get to learn is like, but the building the stuff is the game. There is no narrative at all. Like you're walking around and you build stuff, and then it's like creatures come out and figure it out. Figure out how to defend it. Figure out how to build a bunker. Figure out how to light the bunker when you're in there. Like just figure it out, and everything does something. But there's no roadmap. You gotta, trial and error it and figure it all out, and that is fun. There is something to there. They you will kind of find yourself going down a rabbit hole of like, oh, okay, so that worked, but that didn't work. So what can I try here? And maybe this stone has a different effect than that stone. And if I keep digging, I'll get, different layers of rock and I can get different stuff. And it's one of those games where you blink and 4 hours went away. And so I get it. I get why it is the way it is. And like when you see some people building things in Minecraft, it's stunning, the stuff people can build.
Yeah, I mean, I see that stuff on like, every once in a while you'll see something come up on YouTube or, any of the platforms that you're looking for video game news on. They'll be like, oh, check out these people who like recreated the whole like downtown New York like skyline. And you're just like, well, that's impressive, but like, I don't ever want to do that in that game. So, whatever. Like it's just one of those games that doesn't scratch any type of itch for me. In fact, it probably would create more anxiety and stress. So I'm glad you guys enjoy it. If you guys out there are Minecraft people, good for you. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But Justin, what do you think? I mean, like, is it in your wheelhouse?
So my time with Minecraft's pretty funny because it's like I got into Minecraft in 2009 when nobody knew what the fuck Minecraft was. Like when Noach still owned it, like when it was just the bare bones, like there was like maybe like 6 enemy types and some blocks, like, and whatever. And I saw someone playing it at college and stuff, and they were like, oh yeah, like, it's pretty interesting and like whatever. And me and like my roommates, like Matt and Chris and stuff, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And it was like, at the time, it was like $15. And it was like, buy it now and you'll get every future update for free. Like, because we're still building. It's like in alpha right now, like whatever. And we're like, cool. So we all bought it. And my roommate Matt built us a server. And so we all like would be on our laptops, like in the living room. Like I'd be on the couch, he's on his desktop, Chris is on his laptop too on the couch, and we'd just all be in the living room, like playing together and like fucking around and like building houses. And we built like an underground forest with like some fucking like water irrigation system and hydroponics and shit, and like, and it was a lot of fun.
Of course.
Yeah, like of course. And but it was a lot of like, and that's what made it fun for me. Like we didn't build anything like uber crazy and stuff, but it was just playing, like fucking around with friends and just like all playing on like one server together and like messing around was like a lot of fun. And then like they did like the big Nether update and stuff where it's like, oh, you can build this portal to basically like the underworld and stuff, and they introduced new enemies, and I was like, oh dude, that's so cool. And that was dope. And then it's like, I quit. And then it's like now seeing that like there's enchantments and spells and like and there's like an Ender Dragon and shit and like NPC villages. And I'm like, that is way beyond any shit that when I played Minecraft that ever existed. So it's like crazy to see like, and they're like still doing updates and stuff. And I'm like, it's crazy how far they've pushed the game since I played it last.
Well, something horrible happened today, you guys, and the day has finally come where my son asked me about Roblox. He was like, "Hey, so what's this game Roblox that I keep seeing on like?" He watches, like YouTube Kids Let's Plays and stuff like that, and he's come across Roblox, and I'm like, "Oh no, it's here." Oh God, so. I'm trying to avoid that. I'm like, hey, how about some Hungry Shark World, Hungry Dragons? Let's play these games. Don't look in that door. It's just don't worry about Roblox. It's fine, but it's.
And then Zach drags the giant box of magic cards out of the garage, and hey, look, cards.
Totally. You like cards? Look, there's dragons and sharks on them. It's great. But no, it's coming. I know it's a losing battle, so here we are. But as far as stuff I have been playing this week, outside of the spotty Animal Crossing here and there, I fired up Jedi Fallen Order. because I realized I got about halfway through that game and then just stopped playing it because I got sidetracked with other stuff. And I'm like, I actually kind of like that story and I like the game. I just never finished it for whatever reason. So I fired it back up, and let me tell you guys, that is a rough game to come back to after like 6 months of not playing it. And holy shit, I had no idea what the hell I was doing and what mission I was on, where I was going. Like I was just on some planet and like halfway there, and I'm like, did I beat this already? And I'm going back to the ship. Do I need to keep going? Like what am I doing here? How do I attack? How do I block? Like how oh my god, like and so yeah, it took me a few hours to get back in the swing of it, but hey guys, that game's still really good. Like that game is a lot of fun, and I'm not sure why I put it down. I was going through that as I was getting my feet back under me. I'm like, this game kind of rules. Like why am I not playing it? And I think maybe at the time I just hit like a Star Wars fatigue wall. Like, Force or the last Skywalker movie was coming out and I kind of didn't care, and it's all a new, like my whole Twitter feed was full of it, and like everyone was talking Star Wars, and I was just burnt the hell out on Star Wars, and I think that just helped me walk away even more. But yeah, I kind of love that game. I've been playing it a lot, so I think I'm pretty close to the end at this point. I don't know much else I'm gonna do, but it's really good, and you can get it super cheap right now on a bunch of sales. Like Xbox having a sale and PS4 is having a sale, so it's totally a game worth buying if you haven't yet. And if you like Star Wars at all, it scratches all those itches. So yeah, I highly recommend it. But
yeah,
I
mean, I want to say around that time you had the Outer Worlds, you had Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anything else that was kind of in that area, but it might have been Outer Worlds that pulled you away from it.
Yeah, I think so. Man, that was a game that was a total bummer. That game was amazing for like 10 hours and then just stopped being amazing.
Really?
Yeah. It's worth playing. It's worth going through. I haven't finished it because I just you should try it for this, because I just want to see if the same thing happens to you, where I was super feeling it until I wasn't, and then it just was like hitting a brick wall. It was just like, oof, nah, I'm good. Like, I got what I wanted to out of this.
I mean, that's what I was gonna say. Is like, I think I want to give it a try because I saw it pop up on the Nintendo Switch eShop. Like they're just releasing it, but it's like $60. I'm not gonna put $60 down on that game right now.
No, you can get that on PS4 way cheaper, like way cheaper. So, did you ever mess with Outer Worlds, Justin?
No, it was one that it's like I wanted to check out, and it's like one of those things where it's like, for me, just because I do a lot of my gaming anymore on the Switch, I was waiting for. I knew it was coming to Switch. So I've kind of been waiting it, and now that it's like out on Switch, I'm kind of like in the same boat as Shannon. Like, there's better games I think out that I'm interested in that are cheaper than like what there's like like at some point, like in like the next couple months, like whatever, especially around like Black Friday, whatever, like that shit will be like $30 on the eShop,
if not less.
Yeah,
if not less, for sure. Also recommend Outer Wilds. I know it's the two games sound exactly the same, but Outer Wilds, hell of a game. I love that game. What have you guys been playing? Because that's about it for me. So,
I've gone down another deep rabbit hole for Xenoblade Chronicles, the definitive edition. I have progressed the story enough to where they're like, okay, you should probably leave like the main city. You should probably go out and go to the next place. And I'm like, no, I kind of want to do all the side quests around here because the way that it's set up is it's pretty much just if you go around and you just murder everything that's outside the city, you will complete all the quests. And then all you got to do is just talk to the people and get your experience points and the tchotchkes and the armor that you need before you go on to the next place. So yeah, I'm like probably 10 hours into that game, and I have just finished doing like all of the quests for the first city for now. And I'm on my way to the second city to start doing everything there. So I predict that this will probably be another one of those huge time sinks for me. The one thing I can say though is I'm also trying to balance doing like some more Minecraft dungeons and Animal Crossing in there, so it's not as dominating as the as Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was.
Sure.
But it's definitely something that I'm thinking about when I'm playing my other games. I will say, having
when
10 hours,
you're cheating on Xenoblade,
Yeah.
when you're cheating on it with the other games.
Yeah, I will say there is a little jank to it. Like, I know it's just a port of the game for the 3DS, I believe it was. It's just kind of like an up-res kind of version of it. So there is some jank there with the way that people move and like the language and the like the cinematics where like people are talking to each other and things like that. There's a little bit of a disconnect there. Like they really kind of spent a lot of their time on the gameplay, which is great because the gameplay doesn't really suffer from any type of I don't see like everything there is on par with like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 as far as the combat goes. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, it's kind of funny when like they're walking around and they kind of still have that janky like last gen like really blocky like pivot and turn like when they have to like take a corner or when they're walking around. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all I've been playing right now. It's a good game. I recommend it if you like JRPGs. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Justin, are you playing anything?
So, when Zach disconnected for a second, I was telling Shannon about this. So, I mean, I've been playing, of course, Animal Crossing, and I'm playing Bug Fables still, which still love it, still right up my alley. But there's this new game I bought. It was on sale on Switch it was like like on sale for like 90% off, whatever. It was like $1. And so I used some of my eShop wallet credit, whatever, to just get it for free. But it's called Kotodama, The Seven Mysteries of Fujisawa. And and Shannon's already going. So the whole premise is it's basically murder by numbers. Like
You have my attention.
All
Because
right.
he's about ready to lose. You're about ready to lose it.
Remember that. Remember that I have your attention right now.
Okay.
All right. So the whole premise is you're this dude and you go to this high school and you meet this girl and like there's 7 mysteries that like revolve around this high school and they're in like the sort of like the paranormal club or whatever, and she's trying to figure out each chapter revolves around some mystery at the school and you guys are trying to kind of like figure out like is it actually some paranormal thing or like what's causing this shit to actually happen. And so you kind of like interrogate people like you do, like you like interview other students and ask questions and do whatever like you do in Murder by Numbers, for instance.
Okay.
But the only difference is instead of Sudoku, or not Sudoku, whatever, Picross, you're doing like Bejeweled Match 3. But as you're doing it, like the people aren't very easily like giving out the information that you want. So as you're doing the match 3 stuff, you're basically stripping them naked. And so you're making them lose their clothes to the point where the whole goal is once you expose them for who they are, aka strip them fully nude, then that's when the truth comes out and you get the information that you want. So, but I know what you're thinking, and you're like, this might not be up my alley because, but you also, it's not just school girls. There's also school guys that you're stripping. So it's right up Shannon's alley. So I did the first chapter with the first mystery and stuff, and it's interesting to say the least. I don't regret paying the $1 for it.
This sounds sanity. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's very Japanese, if you couldn't tell. Like, it's a very
no.
like it's almost, it would be almost akin to like a honey pop sort of like hentai game, but of course it's on the Switch, so it's like they pushed it as far as they could push it to like be allowed to release on console. Like without showing any actual nudity or like anything like that.
So you're stripping him naked, but you're not stripping him naked.
Well, you're stripping them naked, but then it like zooms in like on their faces that they're making and stuff. Like you see them in their underwear and stuff, but you don't actually see genitalia at any given point. Like it's very tastefully done.
Yes, it's the Playboy of sexual assault detective games. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, but you're only mentally sexually assaulting them. So it's like, is that really a crime, Zach? Is imagination truly a crime, Zach?
In this case, I'm gonna go with yes. If you're these are the options you're giving me.
If you're under the pretense that everybody at this school is 18, Zach, is it really a crime?
Wow. If you have to premise the situation with that caveat, I think there's a problem. There's a no. It's just
it's a crime. It's a crime against good fucking taste. I'll tell you that. Jesus.
Zach's like, hey, remember how I said I was unfriending people on Facebook?
yeah, right. Like, Jesus.
Oh man, it was like a wait, what? No, I'm out.
I love when Zach said, "You have my attention." Shannon's like, "Oh my god, no, he doesn't."
No, I like Shannon's response was, "And you're about to lose it." Like,
yeah.
Jesus.
Oh man,
what the hell? Like that was. Type of fever dream did we all just experience for the last 5 minutes? Like, what the?
Yeah, well, as I was reading it, I was like, yeah, I would never in my life pay $20 for this. I was like, but for $1 that isn't actually coming directly out of my account, I was like, I'll check this.
I don't actually blame you, because that's one of those things, like, as you're scrolling through the like never-ending list on the eShop, and you hit this for $1, and it's like, oh, that looks interesting, and you start reading it. I have to admit, even myself, I'm like, that can't be what the fuck this is. I have to pay it. Like, there's no way this is what this is. Like,
I was just like, not only do I get to play basically Bejeweled, but I get to strip school people as well. I'm like, sign me up.
It's my two favorite things put together.
Yeah. 2 games in one.
Oh, Jesus. Well, where do we even go? I mean, I guess this is a good time to end the show. Jesus Christ.
On that bombshell.
Yeah. I feel like we should almost start a segment at like Justin's dollar game of the week from the eShop. And you just go and find like the weirdest shit you can on the eShop that's $1 or less, you know?
Oh, dude, they're all over the place. There's like 100 games a week you can go through.
Yeah, I was like, I still have a bunch on my Switch that I have literally never booted up. Like,
all right, this is happening. Next week, we'll get another $1 or less bargain bin Justin reviews.
Yeah, I can't guarantee it's going to be good as the 7 Mysteries of Ishikawa High, but I'll give it my best shot.
But then what is, really?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, really. I mean, it's up right now, it's floating around top 10 for Game of the Year.
Yeah. It's on the list. I mean, easily. It's on the list. So
gonna get an honorable mention is what it's gonna get.
It's gonna be somewhere between Animal Crossing and number 10.
I want to know is like has like your fiance come in while you've been playing that game, and what is her reaction?
No, I don't think she said that. It's like one of those games where it's like at night and you like dim the Switch as low as possible, you know, like, and like the like screen is kind of just like facing straight up on your chest, and you have the Joy-Cons under the sheets. And you're just like,
whoa, stop. No, you're getting way too detailed here with like your placement of things.
I'm very happy he just didn't do like the finger quotes, like Joy-Cons under the sheet.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, dude, my right Joy-Con's drifting pretty hard to the right, if you know what I'm saying.
That's where we're cutting it.
So look forward next week to more Justin's bargain bin choice. Okay, yeah, no, we're ending it. Fuck it. Shannon, on that note, hit us with the outro, please.
Yeah, look, you've been listening to us for this long. Why don't you just leave us a review? Tell us what you think about this awesome podcast. Give us a 5-star rating wherever you download your podcast. It'll help us out a lot. Gets us put up on the top of those charts, which helps us with some advertising. We're right at that cusp. So if you could help us out,
it is awesome because I'm in awe of the last 10 minutes. I'm just wow.
We went some places. We went.
Yeah,
we went
took
places.
a journey.
Forever changed.
I like to give Shannon enough material to work for with the title.
I will say, since you've come on, it has been a lot easier coming up with a title. I mean, there's been a lot of source material there. But
he's
anyway,
a content creator. He's a content creator. That's what he is.
He's an influencer. That's what he's doing. But yeah, you can follow us on Facebook. We have a group set up. It's That Pixel Life. We do try to at least get in there daily and add a little bit of content for you guys. We're a very active group. People are on there giving out information on their turnip prices or what games are coming out that they like, or just random thoughts, movies, and things like that they've seen. So get on over there, join us. You can follow us on Twitter. Justin, any news on Negative Space this week you want to enlighten us on?
I didn't work on it this week, but last week I did get another level or 2 done, so I have one more level to finish for the chapter I'm working on, so that's pretty exciting.
That's awesome. And then they can find you on Twitter, and what's your handle for the game?
My handle for the game is @negative_space. There's an underscore between negative and space, and then there's a second silent E at the end of space because some asshole on Twitter has the other one. But yeah, don't follow him because he's obviously a crook. But
he's a little emo asshole who's just trying to be like super dark and edgy.
Yeah, it's all his associate's degree in photography, like shit in black and white with his Canon, like. Man. So I didn't do anything this week, but if you do follow me on Facebook, I did get 3 new video game tattoos for my arm, and I sent it to the boys, and I got the Brimstone item from Binding of Isaac, I got the Blue Shell of Death from Mario Kart, and I got the purple mana from Puzzle Quest 2. So
nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well,
the blue shell looks cool as hell, by the way.
Oh,
yeah,
thank you.
Really dope. But yeah, that's our show for the week. Thank you guys for listening. Please, like I said, do all the things that we've asked you to do, and try to go out there and be a better person this week. Try to take on one good thing that'll help somebody else out. Try to do something nice without trying to look for anything in return. Just help each other out. And Zach, what would Robbie usually say around this time?
Robbie would tell you guys, hey guys, be great.
Bye.
Alrighty, we have done it.